Afternoon, Houston. KHO11 meteorologist Kim Castro. I'm glad you are tuning in because today is a weather impact alert day. We've got the threat of storms all day long, really until 10 o'clock, and some of these could be strong. The impacts we could see: some damaging wind, some large hail up to 2 inches in diameter, and of course some heavy rain that could lead to ponding and some isolated high water spots. So let's have a live look right now at radar. We're already seeing a cluster of storms that have gained quite a bit of intensity, especially for the northeast side of Harris County, currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is impacting now around 8,000 people. You'll notice that batch of purple right there pushing towards East Gate. That is radar indicated hail that is 1 inch in diameter, so quarter sized. Radar is also picking up on some gusty wind at around 50 miles an hour. This is tracking towards the northeast at 30. It's blinking right now because the National Weather Service is either going to expand this or it's going to expire it. So I'm going to keep an eye on here for the next couple of minutes to see what they do with that. It looks like right now, if it continues on its same path, it's moving towards Moss Hill in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes out. Beyond right now, it'll be in Mont Calvary Church. So notice the hail tracks for this. North of Atascocita, north side of Lake Houston, there's significant hail to track. So either quarter to even golf ball sized hail. You'll notice that little burst of bright blue along FM 2100 Road pushing towards East Gate. That's going to be an area of focus over the next 30 minutes or so. Shepherd area had what's called a special weather statement. The National Weather Service has allowed this to expire. It means that it's just below severe thunderstorm criteria, but still tracking some strong storms riding along 5969 from Cleveland to Shepherd, eventually into Livingston. They're also seeing some hail tracks, but smaller. Looking at the signatures from radar, it's either pea-sized to marble size, maybe a couple of areas with nickel-sized hail. This is along FM 2518 Road. Let's take you down to the Beltway, where I've also seen a couple of strong storms trying to produce some pea-sized hail. So this is east of Jersey Village, just north of Roslyn, pushing into Aldine. So there's a storm that's strong and it is headed in your direction. Live look at radar right now. Spring just got hit with some heavy downpours. That cluster of storms has moved on. Right now, Bush Intercontinental Airport about to get hit with a round of heavy rain, but no lightning with this just yet. I am expecting some delays at both airports throughout the day just because of the nature of these storms and their longevity. So because we're going to track these severe storms from now all the way through 10 o'clock, plan on there being some delays here or there. Be flexible with your timing. Beaumont Place, north of you, you're starting to see some storms developing with the potential of some hail too. Anytime I see those bright purple spots, that lets me know that what radar is picking up on, the reflectivity is too high to be rain. If it gets really bright, that means that there is ice involved in that. And radar is reflecting back some really significant returns, which lets us know there's hail to watch. Not to mention there's a lot of lightning going on in the area right now, about 170 strikes over the last 10 minutes. Here's the breakdown of negative to positive. Anytime there's a positive count that's higher than the negative, I know that these storms are intensifying. Positive strikes are 10 times stronger than the negative ones because they come from the top of the thunderstorm cell versus the bottom of the thunderstorm cell. So keep an eye on this count here to see what we're up against over the next few hours. Notice strikes just for Harris County, about 45 in the last 10 minutes. And again, the positive count is the one that takes the lead. So they are continuing to intensify, especially that cell right now. That is the severe thunderstorm warning. It is set to continue until 1 o'clock. So we'll see if that expires in 30 minutes or so, but it is pretty strong at this point, and it'll continue to push towards Liberty and impact those communities. These are just round one storms, so we'll continue to track these storms throughout the afternoon. You'll notice various spikes in our storm potential throughout the day. I think for Houston, we'll see a spike right around 3 o'clock. I think we'll see another spike at 5 by the time you are commuting home. I'll talk about the threats with that in a moment. And then you're not out of the woods for those Friday night plans either. 9, 10 o'clock, I'm still keeping you under a weather impact alert, which means stay home. If you can be really cautious about your travel time today, that's what we advise under a weather impact alert. Notice beyond that, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, things should start to relax. Our severe threat today is pretty significant, okay? It's a level 3. We don't see this very often in Houston. And notice it encompasses all of Harris County. It even drops into the northern portion of Brazoria, the northern portion of Galveston and Chambers County. Only the immediate coastline is under threat level 2, and even that is something that we have to monitor. I'll break down the severe threats. The biggest concern today is going to be the hail threat, especially for this hatched area. That's a 30% chance, not just of any hail, but large hail, up to 2 inches in diameter. So this would be golf ball sized hail. Down in Houston, there's a 15% chance. I'm thinking it's more pea-sized to quarter-sized hail. And then down along the coastline, a 5% chance there's a threat for pea-sized hail. Wind risk for today is pretty high too, also for Houston, a 30% chance. I think those gusts are going to get up to 50, maybe 60 miles an hour. The threat diminishes as that line of storms pushes towards the coastline. And could that wind rotate? It's a possibility. Now you'll notice it's the lowest possibility. It's a 2% for the tornado threat for today, but we're under it, so that's something else that I have to keep an eye on. I'll watch radar and turn on velocity to see if any of these thunderstorms are starting to show couplets. If they're starting to see rotation, I can send those alerts to your phone just as long as you have that KHOU app downloaded. It's free. Okay, future track radar looks like this. Over the next couple of hours, we'll continue to see storms developing in and around the city center. So no matter where you're traveling, just be on alert that you could see not just downpours, but the potential of these storms that produce hail. Which brings me to my next point. If you work a 9 to 5, you're commuting at 5 or 5:30 trying to get home, check back in with us on our streaming, on our newscasts. We're live at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Check our social pages. We'll show you any spots that have hail and whether or not it is safe for you to get out on the road. Not just for yourself, but for your car. You don't want any dents to the roof or anything like that. Notice we have those reflectivity signatures that show the potential for hail even through 6 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe through 7. And then at that point, the storms are pushing towards the coastline, and that's where they'll start to weaken a bit, not before bringing some downpours and maybe even some gusty wind as they make their last push out of here. Now, I showed you a lot of rain over a pretty significant amount of hours, so there is a flood risk for today as well. It's a level 2 slight risk. That means as you're moving about, you can encounter some ponding at least, high water spots, maybe localized street flooding. Expected rainfall for today, area-wide, at least for most spots, 2 to 4 inches. Notice a radar picks up on a little less rain potential the further southwest that you go. So if you live in Wharton County, Matagorda County, maybe you don't pick up that much rainfall, but look at this big bucket of rain coming right for Houston. That's where the 2 to 4 inches lies. And then those isolated pockets that could see training thunderstorms, so thunderstorms that redevelop hour after hour, could pick up even more rain, maybe 5 to 6 inches. So we talked about the various spikes of rain potential all the way through 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. Things quiet down during the overnight hours, and on your Saturday, it's only a 20% chance for some isolated showers very early on in the day. Then you're dry. I'm talking no rain for your Sunday, your Monday, or your Tuesday. So if you're trying to decide, can I do outdoor activities this weekend? Yes. I'd say even on your Saturday. Most of the rain wraps up while you're sleeping. So this weekend is gorgeous, and then we have to worry about more storms by the middle of next week. So let's just get through today. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk about next week. Humidity trend, because this is a cold front, we are going to see a nice slight drop in humidity too. So beyond today, humidity starts to decline on Sunday. If you really want that perfect day, it's Sunday, because dew points are in the 50s, and you're going to see temperatures that are a bit cooler as well. So today is a weather impact alert day. That means plans are likely altered. You need to be mindful of radar. You need to check back for updates. We could see severe thunderstorm warnings all throughout the afternoon and the evening, an 80% chance for that. Tomorrow, 20% chance for a couple of lingering showers in the morning. Notice the temperature drop behind this cold front. Sunday I said was perfect, and it is. 62 to start the day, 82 for a high temperature. You don't have to worry about showers on your Monday or your Tuesday. Notice morning lows are still fairly comfortable. Then as we head to Wednesday, humidity starts to increase. Scattered storms are back in the picture, 40% for Wednesday, 20% for Thursday. All right, we are here with Chief Meteorologist David Paul all afternoon and evening. Please check back in for updates on this Weather Impact Alert Day.